Alright, today I will be making a simple hot chicken sandwich. I'm doing this using, if you watched my video on roasted chicken, you'll see that I told you to keep the bones and the skin, and I didn't eat my entire chicken breast. So anyways, grab yourself a pot that you can cook the sauce in. At least it can hold say more than 3 cups of water, but at least about that. Anyways, grab yourself that, and grab yourself your chicken skins and your and I'll show you how to start that and boil that. Alright, so you can see I got a pot here. Anyways, I filled up about 3/4 of that. I'm going to put this up on max. Oh, sorry, I should have just showed right there. You realize I didn't have that on. Okay, anyways, I just got this on here. Water's about up to here. I got it on max. I'm going to get this boiling right away. Anyways, you can grab your chicken. See how I think I'm fine here. Okay, grab your chicken. You have. And here's mine. Okay, so you got the skin, and grab yourself a knife you'll be comfortable cutting with, and a cutting board. I might as well get that out now. Alright, so you're going to get this started to boil. And the idea also, so I don't forget to say, is you're going to be wanting to boil this. If you want to do it for overnight, you can continuously turn it on, if you got a really big container too. You just want to keep this, if you're going to keep it out out on the stove or something, you just want to make sure this is always staying pretty hot at all times. You don't have to have the oven on. It's just as long as this is hot, nothing's going to be going bad or anything. And then you can also bring it to a boil, let it cool down, and then just set it in your fridge overnight. And the chicken, it's going to get, the flavor is going to start to get pulled out, and it'll take a little longer. But, if you want to just boil this for an hour or whatnot, you'll see how I get this done. So anyways, here you can see, this is the chicken skin I have from yesterday, soft piece there. Now I'm going to leave this intact because I also plan on trying to remove this back. My dog will want this as a treat once I remove all the flavor, all the fat and all the juices out of it. So anyways, we'll just open that up so you can just throw that in. Try to watch putting in any little tiny little bone. You don't want to put nothing like that in there. So when you're grabbing things, always watch. Okay, so here you don't want to little shards of bone to get down in there or anything. So anyways, this is my overall chunk of meat. That's where my breast was attached to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just break it off in a few pieces so that it sits in here a little better. All right, just use your hand like that, and it's it's just the rack that it was sitting on. So we're just gonna break it up into a few smaller pieces. Now there are a few pieces of teeny weeny pieces of chicken, like I say, right. Oh yeah, I hear you too. You heard me say chicken. Anyways, they can see I got the little chicken. Anyways, you can see there's little morsels still on there, but we're not really worried about any of that. So anyways, this is our chicken breast here. So what we're going to be doing with this here is remove anything off the chicken breast I still don't want to eat. So this is a little chunk of fat and a little, little tail end there of that. We'll throw that in there because we won't be eating that. I don't personally want to really eat that little bit of discolored there. So that's pretty good. Anyways, that's a little stiff part there. If you got any little cartilage or anything like that, you don't want to get that in there. So anyway, yeah, I know you want it. Alright, so that's about it. I'm going to grab this, flip that over there. That's a nice piece of chicken there. Alright, and all this here, we can just throw down into here too. Alright, so just let this boil. You can leave the lid on. Don't walk away until the boiling starts. I'm going to shut off this video and edit this boiling part out. because I'm going to let this boil, just this piece right here, for about anywhere between a half hour, 45 minutes at least I'm going to do. And then I'm going to turn back on the video to show you how to start to reduce it. But I'm going to at all times make sure that the bones and skin are always covered in water in here, and that they never, because you don't want the skin or the bone out of the water and everything cooking, because it won't be itself letting all the flavors bleed into the water. So that's what you want, to get all those juices out of everything. So anyways, just do this. You can leave this, on. I'm gonna leave it on myself, but if you're gonna walk away, just make sure maybe not to leave this on max, and you're just trying to keep this hot. So if you're gonna leave it on for all day long, just or 8 hours or something, and you got a whole chicken, maybe all the bones and all the skin from a whole chicken, and you're in a much bigger pot, maybe you just turn it on max. Once it's hit the boiling, turn it off and come back a few hours later, turn it back on. I'm just saying that's how you're going to get the flavors out of there. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna turn off this the video here and just edit this little part out, and I'll come back. I'm gonna set my piece of chicken just back in the fridge for now, and we'll be back to just like I say, show you how I do the rest, just to make a real simple hot chicken sandwich. Alrighty, thanks. Alright, this has been cooking for just a little over a half hour, 40 minutes about, just on hard boil, at medium. It's in there turning, fairly vigorous. But it's reduced, the water I've had in there is reduced to about, just I'd say a little less than a cup in here, but about a cup left. Now we're going to reduce it further, a little bit faster, and we're also, about to, I should say, but we're gonna get a little more back out of this skin and the meat here to get. So anyways, grab yourself a little saucepan that you'd be comfortable to have at a high heat. Alright. Right, I store my pans upside down, and I stack them up one on top of the other. I know a lot of people do things the other way. So anyways, you can just bring that over to here like that. Let that instantly start getting warm. You don't have to worry. Grab yourself a fork. And if you have, grab yourself a little strainer handy if you happen to have one. Like this, I have a little metal one. Don't use plastic here. You're going to want a little metal one. Yeah, you can hear it's metal. So anyways, we're going to pour a little bit of the, or not pour, I mean pick up a little bit of this meat, and you're going to get a little juice with it. Okay, oh, I forgot to say, bring a little water in a measuring cup. It doesn't have to be a measuring cup. I just like using measuring cups because when you have a cup of water, you got an idea of how fast you're using and what you're using it and how much you need. So you just put enough to cover the bottom so you can get the water to basically fry. Make sure it gets really hot. Now here's where you can ramp this back up, however comfortable you are with moving. Start picking up all the stuff you just broke up in here and bring it out. Try to do this so you can see it. Alright. This is all the stuff I won't be eating. Alright. Now I'm going to try to bring this nice and close. You can probably see the color, a nice brothy color there. It's not like water, so clearly see it's a nice broth color. It smells delicious in the house, like the chicken. So anyways, now we're just gonna get this to cook like just a little on there. Get the skin and turn the skin side down. The side you had your salt and pepper on, or any other seasoning if you happen to put any. But to make a real good hot chicken sandwich, you don't want a bunch of flavor is in there. That, you know, a hot chicken sandwich, you want a nice chicken gravy is what you should be making. So this is, I'm just going to show you how to make a pretty much a chicken gravy to go with your hot chicken sandwich. Anyways, you're going to try to get that nice, to say a lighter colored brown out of everything. You know, if you've ever seen Kentucky Fried Chicken, they got a nice brown to their gravy. So that's pretty much what you're trying to go for. You're gonna see how I make mine. So anyways, get yourself well, I guess you don't have to. I'm just going to use my, so you can get yourself a little container. I'm going to use a little tiny, just the top of this here, and put it over here. I'm going to pick back up my stuff here in a little bit. I can see the color already coming back into the plate here, and what I'm trying to do is actually get some brown started in the bottom of this pan. To reduce this all the way down to get a color brown and then to add back water is going to be a long time, and this has a good concentration of flavor in it. So anyways, right now I turn my pan a little bit just to make sure I get an even distribution of heat while I do this. And like I say, I'm putting the skin side down, so it's actually frying and giving me some color down in the bottom right now. And there's, you know, there's no moisture, very little water in here at the moment. I'm gonna have to add more. You can probably hear it starting to sizzle in here. But I'm trying to get it to give it some color, just not burn. There, the skin is starting to stick, which is telling me that the bottom is just starting to get a little color. So I'm just gonna add a little water to give it that fast little fry again. Very nice. All right. Again, just going to pour it right over everything. All right. So what I'm going to do here is gather everything to the one side. All right. I'm going to tilt my pan a little, and I'm going to pour so I can get all the juice, that any flavor that's left over the meat, to drop down out of there like that. And a lot of color came out of that, almost the same color that was in the pot over here. So anyways, now I'm just gonna flip my all my little leftovers that I don't need anymore in here out. All right, so now I'm just gonna grab my little strainy guy here. I don't quite need him quite yet. Okay. Now you're trying to reduce this little bit you got left in here so we can start getting color from it. I'm going to add, you can salt to how you like. I'm going to add probably like less than 1/8 of a teaspoon, just a little sprinkling of salt in here. And a little bit of pepper, again to your season to your liking for this kind of. So I'm just making a single serving here is all I'm really doing. It's just going to be a very highly concentrated single serving. All right. All right. Now I got some good brown starting here. Now the idea of this is not to add it all at once. It's to actually let the water evaporate from here and start to add like color. You don't want to see burning here, but when you start to see it brown, like you can see I got no liquid left here. Okay, so it's really hot right now, but it's going to start to brown. So just add little specks of dot, and not everywhere. You don't want the water everywhere. So it's going to start to evaporate from this side. Then maybe a little few drops over here. Oh, the smell coming now is just really getting strong. So I'm going to put a few more drops over here. I'm moving. I'm not ever letting the juices catch from another juice. I'm trying to make sure to let everything go around right now. Don't try to do this with a non-stick pan at all. I got some real nice browns started now. Real nice. It's getting past gold. All right. Oh wow, the smell. Now it's really the salt and pepper that's starting to basically be the things that are cooking right now and that are catching the color. Okay, I'm just going to put a little water to cover all the bottom here. I'll show you how we're getting some color here. So I'm just going to catch everything up, make sure everything breaks up. Alright, so just show you how, I don't know if you can actually see it there, a lot of steam coming off because of a very hot bottom, but let's see, you know, well, you'll get to see a little better, but anyways, it's at least twice the shade, no more than 3 times the shade that this is right now, and it's got more of a red, a little bit of a red hue in it. This is more of a yellowish light beige brown. Anyways. Alright. About over here. Nice. Alright. Here I go, a few drops again. Over there. Drops over here. All right. Now I just added a little more again. I'm gonna let it all catch up again. Everything is nice, mixed well. Again, that color now is probably 5 times darker than this. I bet you I can actually, wonder if I can just go like this and see if I can get the camera just over top maybe. If I'm lucky enough. I don't know if I can see. Can you see the difference in that color there? Ooh, I'm trying to do 2 things two-handed. Okay, hang on. There we go. Okay, so we got that color there. And then we got that color. So you can pretty much see one's darker brown, one's nicer yellow. Alright, I'm not good with this. Moving the camera. Get this little. Alright. Put this back on here. Okay, so now you can clearly see again we're just about out of liquid here. Alright. So I'm just going to pour a little to the one side. Let it blow up a little. Bubble up, I mean. Over here a little bit, and a little on the back side. All right, now I'm going to pour all of this in. Catch it all up. Okay, now you can pour back into here and just run it through your strainer. I do this because some people actually and then redo it again into this one, just to make sure you get all the flavor back from that too. But all that will act as a strainer, so you're going to catch even more finer impurities. So anyways, you're pretty much okay with this for now. You're going to get this up to a boil. You want to get yourself a little bit less water. You don't need this much here. Well, I can probably just pour this in here. Don't really need it. So I'm just going to grab myself a, less than a quarter cup, I guess. And you're going to want to get yourself about a teaspoon of flour. Maybe a dash less. Okay. Okay. So here's my flour. Now I like to let that sit for a second. And grab yourself a cutting board if you don't mind. Ready here, and a knife. Grab yourself your chicken. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna actually split her down the center as thin as not as thin as I can, but fairly thin there, and then I'm gonna cut it up into little strips about 1/2 centimeter. Alright, and then I'm gonna cut it up again into the same little, so it's just gonna be like little diced pieces right now. Now, this, what I'm doing, I can say it's a serving for one, but really it's a serving for two. I guarantee you that. You can make a side dish or not. If you're going to make a, I'm going to make a side dish, and this will end up being another little meal for tomorrow too. But anyway, just put your chicken in here. Alright. Here's your chicken. Okay. You're going to let this boil just for a little bit, and the idea is to help break up the chicken and to get it a little bit broken up, so you're not going to have big chunks or anything like that when you're eating your hot chicken sandwich. While that's going, grab yourself some bread. If you've watched my simple bread recipe, you'll know I've got bread here. Already, how to make bread. So anyways, just grab yourself, what you're going to be eating. I'm going to grab myself 2. Now, a lot of people might not think it's very much, my bread in size. But if you watched or know my video, this piece of bread I cut here, it's about that big there. I guarantee you its weight is more than any regular slice of bread that you get out, or even a Texas toast or anything. I've got a pretty dense bread here. That little loaf is about that big, and it weighs about 1.75 pounds. So when you get a loaf this big and it's just under 1 pound. So this will give you, so this is more dense bread. Anyways, you're going to want to toast it or not. I prefer mine toasted because I'm going to be putting gravy on it, and it just doesn't make as soggy as a bread. But anyways, I'm just going to start toasting her. She's up here in the oven. I'm not going to do a hard toast. I'm going to do a light toast also, not very much. Yeah. All right. So just make sure your chicken is very, diced up, or as small pretty much as you're going to make it. Now, I'm going to grab a dash of soy sauce. This here is going to help and give it some color and a little flavor of salt more. Okay, so maybe just less than, I'd say, about a 1/4 teaspoon. So you'll instantly see a real nice brown start there. Add a whole load of flavor. Now you can go ahead and add peas in here right away if you want to add some peas in here. I like peas adding here, but I'm just going to show you how to make it simple. You don't have to. But anyways, you may not need all of this, and you may need the water that you poured into the other pot a little bit. But just pour just a little bit. Yep. Put that over there. I'm just going to pour a little water. Just a bit. Now the important thing with a gravy, and especially when you're using flour compared to cornstarch, is it can easily overwhelm and take all the flavor away and just make something taste like paste. So you really have to, that's why I cook things right down, and I'm trying to get it, it gives it just a little more thickness. So anyways, give it a little taste. That is nice. I can even add just a little more. I know I won't be stealing from the flavors, but just a bit. Alright, thickness. Add just a bit of this more. Alright, now I'm going to actually shut this off because it's on max. And this is a thick bottom pan, so it's going to hold its heat for a while still. So, that's about, grab all this here. Yeah. I know you're just wanting everything. Alright. Yeah. And I wonder if I can just show, you know, it's so it's super, it looks like a super thick sauce in here, but it's the chicken that's helping to act like more of the gravy here. I'm just going to act a little more like that by breaking it up. It's also going to make it super tender. Alright. It's still bubbling a little in here. But you can go ahead, put that aside. Alright. Don't feed chicken bones or any bird bone in particular to any animal, 'cause bird bones are hollow. And they do splinter, and they can cause animals to choke greatly. And you don't want any of that. Personally, I usually just throw them. I have a compost that I don't mind throwing meat particles back into. They always seem to disappear from the wild animals anyways. Kind of like if you ever worked on a roof there in a big city and you can find chicken wing bones there in the middle of a... in the middle of the roof, you know that some bird came by and grabbed the chicken bones. So, anyways, that is looking just perfect. Alright, the bread is almost ready. I hope this, I know I take a while to talk in my videos. Oh, I can just add a little more even, no problem. I just don't want to overwhelm and lose my flavor of chicken. You know, you don't want to make something too salty and just be tasting a salt. I want to taste the flavor of the chicken in there. So, I know I can just add a little bit of this. It also helps the thickening. A little more water, that means. And there we go. So, put this cutting board away, or by the sink. Just grab the little crumbs here from bread. Right, grab myself a plate. Okay, so we got ourselves a plate here. And you're going to want well, I got a fork out already. No, that's it, I think. Yeah. So we got that's ready. It's going to be ready in a few seconds. I'm literally just going to don't need to pay any mind on what I'm doing here. I'm just reheating a little bit of food here for myself. Some sides. Got some carrots for myself here. And some mashed potatoes here. Oh I just added a little bit of water in the bottom so nothing happens. But I'm making a video here for hot chicken sandwich. So anyways, you can see I got a nice little gold around there on that. So we're going to turn this on. I'm going to turn this on. Both on max. Get them hot quick. Let's just finish this little video for us. Okay, so this is how I make my, like I say, I usually just eat one slice. And that's quite a bit on one slice. Alright. It is there. Alright, we're going to have ourselves a little bite here, I guess. Just to, so you can see a nice soft bread, a little crisp on just on the edge. And there we go. Have this little bite. Wow. Mmm. That is awesome. Nothing else required. I don't even know if this will make it before this is even cooked for me. Anyways, I know one of these ain't gonna make it. I hope you enjoyed this. As simple as it can be made. Barely, nothing really, and it's got a load of flavor. Wow. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy. Waiting for your comments.